Folks, what are the 8 levers that you can play with when creating or looking for a DSCR loan? These 8 levers, and there actually might be slightly more, are important to understand because any tweak of these 8 will affect the rate. Some in a positive way, some in a negative way. Dustin, this is going to be a very interesting conversation. So let's educate people on all the things they can look at to get better or maybe slightly worse rates. And it is all about deal structure. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, so I think there's 8 and we could argue 9 or 10, but we'll go into that. And I kind of broke it up mentally into like the big, heavy levers versus maybe the less heavy levers or hitters, right? The first one, and I would put this in the kind of heavy hitter category, would be your loan to value, right? Loan to value is huge. And when I say this, on average, a 5% lever or change from, let's say, 75% or 80% on average is about 0.375 difference in rate. Okay. Now, what's important to note, and you'll see this, it's kind of gradual as you go through these levers because the difference between 60 and 65% is only about 0.125 in rate. Okay. So the higher you get to the top, the bigger the difference in, the rate for that 5% change.
Yeah, so I'll say it differently, or at least try to translate it. So going from 75% LTV to 80 is a larger hit than going from 60 to 65.
Correct. And for the consumers and for the people watching, it's very important when you're speaking to different, lenders or brokers or loan originators, knowing that they may, a lot of times I see, give a loan amount on their, loan offer, loan summary, loan estimate. It's important to see and know what LTV did they price that at, because it's really easy, for any sort of consumer to spot, okay, let's say 280,000 loan amount, $400,000 valuation, we're at 70%. Okay.
Right.
But the other lender you speak to may have put 280 and then put a 425 loan or 425 value. So you're comparing 280, it's the same thing, but the guy that put the value at 425 prior to getting the appraisal is tweaking that lever to show you a better rate when in reality, it's just a way to kind of skew the numbers.
Let's just say it this way. There are some operators that will game the system, and without the appraisal, they'll goose the number, giving you a slightly better rate. And then they surprise you. Sorry, the appraisal came in low. You're going to have to pay more, right?
Yep. Very important. Very, very important if you're doing that.
All right. So again, understand the LTV. And just one more thing on this. Is there any difference cash out versus purchase here? Or is that maybe another lever?
That is, I'd call the secondary levers we'll get into.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. Go ahead.
The next biggest one I would go with would be your credit score, your FICO score, right? Anything above 740 is usually kind of plateaued. So 780, 800 versus 740 is maybe 0.1 difference, maybe. Okay. But the difference between 740 and 700 is about 0.375.
Ouch. Okay.
So that's a big difference. Yeah. And then the difference between 701 and 699, and the reason I bring that up, and it's important to understand, it's not just 2 points, it's the bracket of 700 to 720 and the bracket of 680 to 700. Okay.
Big difference. Yeah.
That could be 0.375 as well. Wow. So important, everybody, probably not everybody, but most do know that lenders are going to price in 20-point brackets, 700 to 720, 720 to 740, etc. If you are anywhere near, I'd say 6, 7, even 10 points of that next 20-point tier, most lenders, most brokers have their own credit repair, credit service. Some people know it already and they may have already done it before, like a rapid rescore. Look into that, because sometimes it may only cost you a couple $100 to move some credit card balance to another credit card and get you from 693 to 701 and save you 0.375 on the rate.
That's a great catch. A lot of people think their credit when they run it it's said and done. But yeah, there are some ways you can, game the system a little bit with some education and maybe get to that next lever, which will mean a lot because you're going to hold these loans for, minimum of 10 years in most cases.
Yeah, and look, it's a very, in my opinion, antiquated algorithm that the credit bureaus use to get your credit scores to where they
Yeah.
are. But knowing and working with an expert that knows how to kind of gamify or trick or just move. Let's
Yeah.
say if you got 5,000 in credit card debt, it's better to have 2,500 on two cards instead of 4,500 on one and 500 on another, right?
Exactly.
Without doing anything.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yep. Love that. Okay.
Third biggest lever on DSCR, I'm going prepayment penalty. Okay.
Oh, yes.
The most common options are going to be anywhere between no prepay and 5 years worth of prepay. Okay. As the client, as the borrower, as the consumer, you need to ask always, what is the prepayment or term or penalty? Because look, a 5-year prepay is usually about a quarter point better than a 3-year prepay. Okay. And then a 5-year prepay is about 0.75 better than a loan with no prepay. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's a very big, because a lot of clients come to me and I give them, what we're offering. And then I ask, what was the other lender offering on a prepay? And they're like, I don't know. Well, I can almost guarantee you, because that rate's pretty darn low, is a 5-year, right?
Yeah.
And knowing that part is very important.
Yeah, you got to understand all the variables because again, especially the call centers. Right now, the call centers are going crazy, just bombarding people, and you just don't know what they're offering because they're not letting you go apples to apples. LTV, credit number, prepays. This is all great education. Thank you. What's next?
The next biggest one, I'm going to go with the DSCR ratio itself.
Yeah.
Pretty kind of basic in the word. In the acronym itself, that you want to have a property that's cash flowing positive. That's what this loan program is based off of. If you're below 1, though, you're at 0.99, you're better lowering the loan amount, right, by 2 or 3,000, whatever it might be, than taking anywhere from a 0.5% to a 0.75% hit.
Yeah, just take less money. Get that over 1. Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Now, over 1 is where you want to be. If you're at 1.25 or higher, usually you're going to get like 0.1 better on the rate. And then sometimes, depending on the investor, if you're over 1.5, you'll get another 0.1 better. Okay. But over 1 is the biggest, most important part. You can get a little better if you're higher, but if you're below 1,
yeah, at the end of the day, DSCR loans are all about risk. And if you're sub 1, meaning it's not cash flowing, you're gonna pay up for that. So yeah, just lower the loan amount, get above 1, protect yourself. I like it.
Yeah, that's a big one. Now I'm gonna go into the secondary levers, we'll call it.
Sure.
Important to note that property type plays a big factor.
Yes.
So best rate's always going to come with a single family. Okay.
Correct.
If you're a 2 to 4 unit, it's usually about 0.1 worse if it's a 2 to 4 unit property.
Okay.
Same as a condo. A condo is about a 0.1 hit worse than a single family. Okay. Where you start getting the bigger hits are short-term rentals and rural properties.
Yeah.
Okay. Those can be anywhere from 0.25 to 0.5 worse. Oof. So if you have a short-term rental, and a lot of short-term rentals are in rural locations,
certainly
you're getting double hit.
Yeah.
So when you call around and you're like, I heard or I saw rates in the 5s or the 6, well, it's like, yes, but we have a hit on short-term rental and a hit on rural. Right. Those are 2 of the biggest ones that you're going to get hit on. Next one, which you brought up 5 minutes ago, cash out versus no cash out. Now, no cash out, I'm applying to purchase or rate and term refi.
Okay, sure.
On average, cash out's going to be about a quarter point higher.
Makes sense.
Kind of simple. Next 2, loan size, loan amount. Okay. The most coveted loan amount range or window, if you will, that investors want and the people that buy these are going to be anywhere from $250K to $2 million.
Okay.
Now, not everybody may be 150 to 1.5. This is where I'll get into it later, but 250 to 2 million is usually where you can be with no sort of loan amount hit to the rate. Okay.
Got it.
When you're below 250, could be a 1/4 point hit.
Mm.
If you're below 150, it could be a 0.5% hit. Okay.
Wow.
And then over 2 million, below 5 million, usually a 1/4 point hit.
Okay.
Anything over 5 million, another 1/4 point hit.
Interesting. Okay.
Kind of lastly, I think this was 8, and then we can go into like some others that somewhat
Sure.
affect it. It's the occupancy and the lease status. Okay. I don't think it's a secret, but everybody probably knows that if it's leased versus not leased, you're going to get the best terms.
For sure.
Having somebody in place. Leased long term is usually about a 1/4 point better than leased as a short term rental. And then leased versus vacant, even though we can do properties that are vacant, right? We use the market rent from the appraiser. That's another 1/4 point hit. Okay. Now, what's important to know is we do it off of leased at closing. So you can start the process with, hey, I've got it marketed. I'm going to get it rented in 2 weeks. Fine. There will be no hit as long as we get it leased before we close the loan.
I like it.
And then like, look, it's invisible, I think, from the consumer side to see this, but working with somebody like me or John or any professional in the DSCR space, not just a loan officer at Rocket Mortgage that has a one-trick pony on DSCR, is that all of those levers that we just discussed, depending on who the investor is that's buying it, will have different hits and different specialties where one may not hit you as hard for a high loan to value. One may not hit you as hard for a short-term rental or a rural property. One may not hit you as hard for a no prepay, but they'll hit you really hard, for cash out. So knowing ultimately the structure that you want, presenting that structure to the, licensed loan officer, whoever it might be, and then getting your best options is always the better practice than, telling them I need this rate, because it's the structure that'll give you the rate.
Well, this is why I want One Rental at a Time fans to reach out to Convoy, you or your partner, Jonathan, because you'll have these conversations and it's not a rush, right? It's like, this is the deal I'm putting together. These are the levers. You can ask some questions. You can tailor these things. And I say this as somebody who used your service, right? You helped Olivia and I get through 2 of these. I would say we have a more complicated portfolio than most people. And you guys got exactly what you said you would. We even had a reappraisal, which I'm sure wasn't fun. And it was those conversations that you guys had with us that really helped us understand which of these we could pull, because it was important for us to get a cash out refi sub 6%, and you guys delivered. And it was because we had those conversations. Obviously, we did a very low LTV. I think it was 60%. If we were going to go to 65, it would have pushed us over. We didn't want that. And it was just those conversations, that 10 or 15 minutes that said, what do you guys want? Let me ask you these questions, like what's your credit and all of that. It was so helpful, and it was smooth sailing once we got what we wanted. But people need to reach out to you because, again, you give them a very unique opportunity with the ORAC community. So how do they do that?
Just go to convoyhomeloans.com, and when you click the apply now button, just mention you came from ORAC.
Yeah, folks, if you do that, there's a little button, and it says apply now, and then it says, where did you hear from us? If you take the time to say One Rental at a Time, it only goes to this gentleman, Dustin, or his partner, Jonathan. Otherwise, you end up in a queue with all the common people, and you're not common if you watch this channel. So take care, Dustin. You're amazing. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mike.